doing in the miniature.
Matte paintings are used primarily to avoid having to go out on location, and you can manipulate the matte painting almost infinitely. You can change the colors, you can change the time of day, you can change the clouds, and it gives a scene a big scope and takes it from an indoor studio look to an outdoor look.
And then ultimately we're to digital composite the pieces, dropping in the digital matte painting, the digital enhancement necessary to make the scenes of Skull Island as visually stunning as Peter originally imagined them in his head.
And hopefully our created Skull Island has some resemblance to the 1933 original Skull Island, because I like the idea that we have shot our movie on the same Skull Island locales as what the original film was shot on.
The original ideas for the Skull Islanders were much more theatrical maybe than what we thankfully settled on.
We thought at one stage maybe it was like the survivors of a Dutch trading ship, and they'd inbred on the island and become, you know, like deliverance people.
We clothed them in a combination of very primitive native costuming ideas crossed with the clothing that was taken off the ship all those centuries earlier, such as ruffs around the neck, puffed out skirts and such like. So some pretty kooky ideas, but you do have to go there in the process of filtering down to the definitive design concepts that you use in a film.
And, you know, we ended up trying to not be too fanciful. I mean, nothing is really made up in the way that they're portrayed. It wasn't based on any particular civilization, but it was a sort of a melting pot of different cultures and different ethnic groups around that area in the world, and we sort of did an amalgam.
Dominique and I did a bunch of makeup tests, which we had a ball doing. Pete said, well, just try to come up with as many different kind of looks as possible. And so, you know, we did everything from appliances that would go through the nose where they actually punctured the cartilage to keloid scarring, and the keloid scarring is where they actually scar themselves, but the scars actually get quite raised.
One of the most amazing things was one of the actors that came in for their face cast for us to do prosthetics on already had scarring on their face from their life back in their previous country. And to actually take a mould of a person that had heavy cutting into the forehead was really amazing and incredible to talk to this person.
The way that they dress suggests that they really make use of whatever materials they can find to decorate themselves. And there's not a lot of materials that are available for them.
Pete was the one who came up with the idea, I believe, of using that they use their own hair.
We've made a series of cloaks, and I've just finished doing this third cloak, and I've strung a series of imitation human teeth along the edges.
We also have the problem of hiding nudity. A very, very primitive race would not in any way care about it. But of course, because of the rating of the movie, we're trying to very carefully and subtly hide things under G-strings and so on.
I personally think it's a little bit too small. I think I need a bit more room.
We wanted the people on Skull Island to basically be quite thin, because we imagined that, you know, they would be emaciated to some degree. But when you're in Wellington, New Zealand, it's hard to find that sort of person. So we had to get lots of different people from all over the world.
We had Sudanese, we had Maori, we had Polynesian, Fijian, Cambodia, just all sorts of different people.
I'd say that this group of extras logistically has probably been the